is Financial Information Month in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Financial empowerment through education.
It is with great pleasure I stand here to bring our opening remarks on the launch of our Financial Information Month Festival 2025. At its 45th meeting held in Grenada on the 26th to the 27th of July 2002, that's 23 years ago, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Monetary Council designated October 2002 as Financial Literacy Month in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Over the past 23 years, this regional campaign has flourished into a dynamic platform for building financial resilience. It's now observed as Financial Information Month Festival. It remains an enduring expression of the ECCB's commitment to empowering families, young people, entrepreneurs, and our communities. Through this transformative initiative, citizens and residents across the ECCU have strengthened their financial knowledge and gained the confidence to make informed choices for a stronger, more secure future. It is this vision of a stronger, more secure future that inspires the big push, the development challenge issued by our own governor, Timothy N.J. Antoine, on July 19, 2023, at the launch of the ECCB at 40 celebrations. And so in partnership with the Monetary Council and the bank's leadership, we are committed to ensure that we double the GDP of our countries within 10 years, but also, and more importantly, to double the wealth of our citizens within that 10-year bracket. And so that's a lot. It's a very ambitious campaign, but in fact, it can be done. And this is why the FIM Festival is so critical. Critical to convert savers into investors, which will then lead to the strengthening of the resilience, the financial resilience of our citizens. And financial resilience is very critical. It's not just about bouncing back in place, but it's bouncing forward. Is to ensure that our citizens, we are faced with so many, natural disasters and other, challenges that can compromise our financial safety and soundness. And that is why it's so important to build our financial resilience. I always say without financial independence, there is no real independence. And financial resilience will help to strengthen our independence as individuals and as a nation. Within the ECCB's mission statement, advancing the good of the people of the currency union by maintaining monetary and financial stability and promoting growth and development. This is at the heart of everything we do at the ECCB. And because of that, we also have worked to make access to banking simpler and more inclusive. A major milestone in this effort is the establishment of the basic bank account, known as the First Step Savings Account. Tailored for the unbanked and underbanked across the ECCU, First Step offers persons 18 years and older an easy and affordable entry into the formal banking system. The account is free to open, carries no maintenance fees, requires no minimum balance, and earns interest at 2% per annum, thereby removing barriers that have traditionally kept many outside of the formal banking system. And I know the young persons who've just started, I see Selena and a few other young people, they could not have a bank account unless their parent, even if they were young workers. And so First Steps give them that step to independence and financial independence. Our financial inclusion thrust extends beyond saving to investing. I was just watching last night, sometimes when you speak about something and you open your phone or your computer, some things just pop up. And Governor, just on the weekend, was talking about converting savers to investors. And voila, last evening, a clip came. And there was this young man interviewing this young lady, 33 years, and she was a millionaire, first black one, as she said, first in her family. And he asked her a few questions. How did you become a millionaire? What are some of the secrets and so forth? And she worked for many years before she moved on her own on Wall Street. And so he said, okay, so what are some of the lessons you learned on Wall Street? And she said, she worked with very high worth net clients. And one of the things she saw from them and lessons learned, 10% of their money was in cash, only 10%. 80% was in marketable securities, bonds, equities, mutual funds, EFTs, and 10% for alternative investment. And in fact, that's what they use to really leap themselves forth. Because if it's only 10% in, very risky assets, if it's work, it works. If it doesn't work, then you only lose 10%. You're still 90% strong. But sometimes in our region, we do it on the reverse. We maybe have about 50, 60% in cash, 40% in these pyramids and other, wild green schemes, I call them. And then when something happens, we have no resilience at all. We are not just on our knees, we are flat on our faces. And so it's really critical that we understand, the allocations. And growing up, our grandparents and elders always said to us, they spoke about that, and that's what they spoke about, diversification. Even if they didn't use that big word, what did they say? Never put all your eggs in one basket. And that advice remains true today. So moving from savers to investors, we'll move some of the cash into marketable securities. And that's where the growth of the ECSC bond market is critical, and the role of ECSRC, the regulator of ECSC, is so critical in that financial soundness. So this for us, from moving from saving to investing, led the ECCB Monetary Council and the Regional Debt Coordinating Committee to approve the development of a retail bond market designed to encourage greater participation by household investors and to foster a culture of investment across our region. Our own Gilletta, Edinburgh, what is the marriage name again, Gilletta? Okay, will tell us a little more about that. So I won't steal her thunder. But I really want to encourage persons to participate, moving from $5,000 to $500. Just think of that. That is not even one night for music festival tickets. Just think about that. And the returns are so much more than even the 2%. So by reducing the minimum investment from that $5,000 to $500, the retail bond market opens doors for thousands more households to participate in building wealth, ensuring that our people can truly move from savers to investors. I guess by now you've noticed that theme of the speech is savers to investors. A perennial theme of Financial Information Month Festival. And we look forward to sharing more about this exciting development later today and in the months to come. Today is just the introduction, but I expect Gilletta and her team to be really everywhere I turn across the ECCU to encourage persons to save. Tell your grandparents, tell your parents, tell your friends, and even young people, you get a lot of allowances. Don't spend it all. Save some so you can go and buy your own share on that bond market and other securities. As the ECCB and our FIM partners work to nurture a culture of saving and investment across the ECCU, we recognize that there is progress yet to be made. For instance, the ECCB's inaugural Financial Literacy and Inclusion Survey revealed that one in every two persons in the currency union is not financially resilient. What that says to me, that's about 50%. And that's very high, because it means I always say lack of financial resilience and financial independence has much more implications than just inability to meet our needs. It hampers and limits our own creativity and innovation, which are so critical for the growth and development of our region. Because if you're worrying about your bills and where tomorrow lunch is coming from and where the school fees for the children and so on, you can't be thinking about how do I grow my wealth and double my wealth in 10 years. No. How do I make my own business better for small business owners? And even our employees in some of our well-established institutions. Some of them are financially unsafe. They can't bring their best self to work. So financial resilience is so critical so that we can bring our best selves in whatever fields we find ourselves. Financial resilience, I said that already. No. So this level of vulnerability does not work well with us. So at the ECCB, we are playing our own part. As we promote financial education, we're also strengthening financial consumer protection. And over the last year, we have been on consultations all over the ECCU, talking about the Office of Financial Conduct and Inclusion, or FCI, talking about the Eastern Caribbean Financial Standards Body to provide a regulatory arm for the non-LFIs, which is the financial institutions not regulated by the ECCB, but by their local regulators. We're also talking about deposit insurance to protect some of your savings in event of a bank failure and others. So we're working really hard, and as part of that, the Banking Act, or ECCB Agreement and Banking Act of 2015, has been revised into the ECCB Banking Act Amended Bill of 2024, which is a holistic representation of all of our efforts and features enhancements to the regulatory framework, which embody banking and supervisory best practices. Of particular note, the bill introduces a new area of market conduct supervision, which supports consumer protection, promotes financial literacy and inclusion, and market integrity. To date, this bill has been passed in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Antigua and Barbuda, and our own St. Christopher and Nevis. We have 5 more countries we are waiting on to pass the bill. It has been passed in some countries, had a first reading, but you need 2 and sometimes 3 readings. So we are hoping that hopefully by the end of 2025, all the remaining countries would have passed the amendment in Parliament. I now take this opportunity to place on record the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank's deep appreciation for the passion and dedication of our FIM festival partners, several of whom are here in the room with us as well as online. The truth is, without your tireless efforts each year to help advance the transformational cause of financial education and the work that you do on a daily basis serving the people of the ECCU, we could not get it done. You are critical. It's almost like the African proverb, Ubuntu. We are because of you. So they recognize, our partners do, that financial education is not only a public good, but also a catalyst for stronger, more informed participation in and growth of our financial sector. Together, we will build a more financially literate, resilient, and prosperous Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. As I said, I won't tell you anything else. I'm about to wrap up because the agenda is well put together. There are going to be lots of presentations, and our presenters will tell us and outline also the exciting calendar of events taking place across our member countries. And you know, that's the beauty of the ECCU and the ECCB. We work not just in one country. We serve not just one country, but we serve 8 countries across our ECCU. So I will just say to you that in a very real way, the dedication of our partners to advance our shared mission and ensuring that Financial Information Month Festival continues to inspire and empower citizens and residents throughout our ECCU. So as we embark on this year's Film Festival 2025, let us commit to turning knowledge into action and action into lasting financial resilience and wealth across our ECCU. Thank you.